Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the B&B podcast. This is episode 3. You can't see that? 333 for you. There you go.
Grandma's just flipping you guys off.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, you guys should be used to that. I do that enough. Anyways, joined once again by my hosting co-host, Brody. Hello. I'm having a stroke.
Don't mind
here.
Brandon. Yeah, it's happening.
I'm also joined by the blurry guest, Colton.
The hell did you call me?
Blurry, because you literally looked down.
Boring. I was like, I ain't boring.
That's also probably true. You've heard his voice before on the podcast. You now have a face to the man that almost killed me, in Saskatoon. So there you go. You now know who almost killed your favorite host, me.
I thought Brody was the favorite host.
No.
I'm definitely not the favorite host.
No, definitely not. But yeah, he's been on the podcast a couple times, and we told our little randonauting... I can't talk.
Randonauting
Thank
stories.
you. As well as some camping stories. But today, he's here for a reoccurring theme, our hypothetical episodes. So yeah. I guess we'll jump right into it. You guys know how this works if you've watched in the past, and if not, go watch the other episodes, because I'm not explaining it again.
Pretty much.
Fucking right. Alright. Number 1, which I think is what Colton picked. You've studied Egyptian hieroglyphics your entire life, making unprecedented strides in interpretation. When archaeologists in the Arctic discover a buried chamber, they find a series of carvings that look suspiciously Egyptian. You and your team of expert linguists, well, it's definitely not me then, are summoned when what you find blows your mind. Despite everything known in recorded history, it seems that the Egyptians also made it to the Arctic Circle. While translating the carvings, you feel an odd vibration. Thinking it's an earthquake, you stop your work and flee the excavation site. The earthquake immediately stops. When you resume and the tremors start again, you grow alarmed. Each time you mention one of the names of the Egyptian deities, the entire chamber trembles. Something deep beneath you is moving, and as you reach the end of the translation, speaking aloud the names of the final trio of gods, the floor shatters. Something thrusts into view from below, cementing your suspicion that these supposed Egyptians were like nothing Earth has ever known.
So you pretty much unleash Egyptian gods on the world.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, that's safe.
Yeah.
So, what would you do? What would your first course of action be, Brody?
Start begging for your life. Like, you gotta think, like, they're literal gods. Like, you gotta be on their good side, or at least try to be on their good side.
What about the Church of Brody? What do you think they would do if there's these gods?
After you befriend them, then you recruit them.
Right.
And you're like, now I have more gods on my side.
Right. So you're just amplifying the Church of Brody's power.
Precisely.
Right. What about you, Colton? What would you do if Egyptian gods decided they just wanted to start walking the earth?
Let them. They're gods. What am I gonna do?
So would you bow down to them, or would you be part of the resistance?
I'll be part of the resistance for sure.
All right, you're dead first.
Yeah,
Colton's
perfect.
gonna die. Do you believe in God?
Oh, that's a topic. I believe there's a higher power.
The gods, obviously.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like you wouldn't really have much of a
There's
choice.
nothing you can do.
You know, I mean, it also depends, because it doesn't say whether it's good or bad.
I'm just praying for a quick death if it's gonna happen.
I'd be okay with the Egyptians ruling the earth. I'm just saying, like, their gods were kind of cool.
They were cool.
None of these pussy fucking Christian gods. God.
Pussy Christian gods.
Antagonized a lot of people. It's fine.
Yup.
We
Is this
don't.
gonna make it in the episode?
Of course it is. We
Cool.
don't talk about religion on the podcast. What do you
Religion's
mean?
man-made.
Never once have we done that.
No, there's definitely not an
I
episode
swear
very
I've
far
listened to
down.
a few of
Stop
those.
looking down. You're making the camera freak out. Yeah, I mean, you can't really do much. Like, I guess in Brody's case, he could rally the troops and send them back to whence they came.
How many followers does the Church of Brody have?
Well, he's got an entire cult that grows day by day. So, I mean, ever since that episode went up, the cult has grown.
Can I join?
We're
No.
probably into the billions by now.
Yeah, there we go.
Holy shit! Church of Brody's growing.
Yeah.
We're going places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Church of Brody's taken on a lot of enemies since it first started.
They just wage war on everyone.
every like the hypothetical episode, there's a new enemy for the Church of Brody. So
Yep, and we've prevailed.
Oh
We're
my
going.
God, awesome.
All right, next one here. An alien spacecraft lands next to a small town and sends out a swarm of nanobots. These nanobots penetrate the skin of a few people and, unbeknownst to them, start creating spider-like creatures from the host's own organic tissue. As the sheriff of this town, you are used to dealing with the occasional speeding car or drunken brawl. However, when your police station receives multiple calls about spiders bursting out of people and terrorizing town folks, you begin to think you may be in over your head.
Yikers.
Perhaps be in over your head. What would you do to curb the nanobot spider explosions out of people?
Recruit the Church of Brody.
See, I've got enough followers. If a few die, fuck whatever. See, we'll use the first few as experiments to see what we can do to kill them all.
So if you're part of the Church of Brody, just know your sacrifice is needed, but he doesn't give a shit about
But
you.
you're the first people who joined, not the most recent. So
Look over here, Colton.
Sorry.
Camera's over
Yes,
here.
I know.
Yeah, you gotta.
So I guess people who came and started with you, you did.
I mean, I feel like you'd have to start quarantining the town, because if it's just in a small town, you still have the chance to stop it from spreading.
Yeah.
So I guess you'd have to try and convince like other law enforcement agencies about these nanobots, but I don't know how
How do
you would go about doing that.
Quarantine that though, like a giant just dome.
Well,
Like,
you just
honestly?
prevent people from leaving. Like,
Yeah.
You just block off roads and exits.
But what's stopping the nanobots from traveling?
Well, they have to. I assume they have to have
Do
human
they have
hosts.
to have a host? Does it say that?
It'd probably be nano. Yeah, they'd probably have to have a host of some sort.
So I assume you could just block off the exits,
yeah.
or you could just drop a bomb on the town and be done with
just
it.
be done with it.
There you go.
I
Okay.
mean, it's been known, like, people have said that, like, if a zombie apocalypse ever broke out or whatever, and, like, the big cities fell, like, of course the government's gonna drop, like, bombs on the cities to stop it from spreading. Probably won't work, but I mean, it's worth a shot. Nuclear warfare is always an option.
It'd be dumb for them not to. Like, the fear of that getting out is worse than killing what? Say there's 4,000 people in that city. It's worse than that getting out and killing 40 million people.
Yeah.
The needs of a many outweigh the needs of a few.
Exactly.
Remember that, Brody followers. We're just gonna make it so if Brody ever does become a god one day, no one's gonna want to follow
No,
him.
because they're just gonna know they're dead.
Or everyone's gonna follow me because this joke's gonna go too far one day, and someone's gonna start like a website following for the
Yeah.
cult.
I kind of want to see that happen now.
I can guarantee Kyle's probably gonna do it.
I'll join.
More than likely, he'll be one that makes a website, and then I'll just become a fucking god overnight.
You're just gonna be the new god.
It'll be like in Death Note when they turned Kira into a fucking like god, basically.
Yeah.
The new one. So yeah, I don't know. I'd drop a nuke.
We're nuking. I think the answer is just
Yeah,
nuke.
I think the answer is just nuke. I mean, an alien spacecraft, not like that, just tells me they probably have more advanced technology. So what are the chances we can stop it if we don't just blow them up?
Did they say they were hostile in this? Like, I know they're actually taking over the body, but did they say that they're being hostile?
I mean, they literally explode out of people, and they are terrorizing the townsfolk.
Yeah, they're hostile. Okay.
I'd say so.
Alright, cool.
Unless you just terrorize
Have you ever
the townfolk nicely.
How?
Have you ever seen Alien, where the fucking alien
Oh.
parasites literally burst out of their chest?
Yeah.
Same shit.
Basically, yeah. They're
That's
just
probably what it's based
smaller
off of.
versions.
I've never
Yeah.
seen Alien, but I know the scene.
Really? Oh my lord.
All right, moving on. Everyone was shocked when the rebels took the capital planet. It should have been impossible, and yet they did it. Treason was involved, of course. Nobody imagined Count Count Del held so much secret information, much less that he would share it with the enemy. Now that the rebels have established military law, they've afforded a small fleet to chase you and the remnants of the disbanded galactic military, and you are on the run. You understand the rebels, sympathize with them even. Their methods are extreme, but you secretly hope they will win because the entire government has spiraled out of control. You believe the rebel leader wants what's best for the people. When they appear on the horizon of the planet where you were safely refueling, they offer safety for your entire family while you serve out a 5-year house arrest on your family estate. The deal is too good to resist, but some of those with you from the disbanded military vehemently disagree and want to fight rather than give up. This is just the plot to Star Wars.
Do we want to now just basically broaden that and explain what they
That
want us to do?
is the whole point. Yes.
Okay.
That is 100. Yes.
This is just sounds like the fucking storyline of Star Wars.
Pretty much, right?
Yeah. So we're rebels,
Okay.
and it appears that we could fight. Why is Craig disconnected? What? Okay. Anyways.
So we're rebels.
Yeah, so we're basically rebels, and we can either fight or give up. What would you do?
We don't give up here. We fight till the end.
Yeah. Precisely. We fight till we die.
Yeah, we die. We're rebels. We either get captured or die.
I mean, they offer safety for your entire family. I feel like if my family was on the line and, I had the choice between allying with them and fighting with them or, just being on the run the rest of my life, I'd probably just be like, yeah, whatever, fuck it. Let's go.
Wait, so you're going to do what, though? You fighting or you running? Or...
No, I'd fight.
Okay.
Well, no, I was saying if my family's at stake, I would fight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not even a fucking...
I'm fighting
question.
regardless. I don't care who's involved.
Okay, so Colton doesn't give a shit about his family. He'd watch them die. But as long as he gets to fight, that's okay then. Basically what I'm getting. I'm going to send this to your mother.
Yeah, I know you are. Or she's going to watch it. Or listen to it.
What would you do, Brody?
I'd fight regardless. Yeah, there's a no-brainer that you would not want to not fight that.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really say what the government has done, but if current times have are any example,
Yes.
the governments are only going to get worse over the years. So I mean, I feel like the rebels probably have a decent cause.
Down with the government.
Maybe these truckers are right. Just kidding. Yeah. Fuck them.
Okay, and now we're political.
What else is new?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if there's a decent enough cause, there's going to be rebels coming out of the woodwork, because there's always going to be people that are defending for their freedoms and whatever. And, down with the government. Total anarchy.
Anarchy.
And, it even says that the Count...
What's it?
Count Mr. Dell, Mr. Dr. Dell was holding secret information, and he shared it with the enemy. So obviously there's some conspiracies going on here, some cooperation from the enemy.
Is Dell on our side, or?
It doesn't sound like it. It sounds like he was the one.
So Dell needs to die.
Because it says treason was involved, so I mean, he betrayed his government, he betrayed his people, so why would you stick with someone like that?
Okay, so kill Dell.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, cool.
Kill Dell.
Kill Dell. There's just some guy named Dell right now. I'm like, no.
Isn't Dell also the dude from Ozark?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kill that man.
Kill him.
Alright, moving on to the next one. Humanity has fought its last war. and cured all cancers and infectious diseases. So it was like the last example or last war is that we're gonna just go with that.
Sounds good.
But it's still not found an effective way to treat severe mental illness.
Ooh.
What a surprise.
Yeah, that's
People
fair.
suffering from psychosis, schizophrenia, and manic depression pose a threat to themselves and others in this otherwise utopian society. So a humanitarian solution is initiated. When people diagnosed with these diseases go to sleep, they are subjected to an injection that immobilizes their body but does not infect their mind. They wake up inside...
So they're paralyzed?
They wake up inside a computer simulation of their world, which is so realistic that they do not realize what has happened. They live out their days with occasional virtual visits from families and friends. None of their actions, including suicide, are prevented. The problem is, not all of the family and friends are comfortable with this solution.
What?
Basically, you have a mental illness, you're put inside a computer.
That's horrible.
All right, we're all throwing computers. God damn it.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like major, so like severe mental illness, like they said.
Yeah.
Schizophrenia, psychosis, depression that throws you into a mania.
So what happens with those people in this day and age?
What do you mean?
Well, what happens with those people?
What do you mean? This is in the future, Colton.
Well, yes, but this just seems inhumane that you're literally putting them in
Well, yeah.
computer simulation.
SAO?
Can you imagine people's schizophrenia playing Soda? I feel like
Oh my
I
fucking
feel
god.
that might go a bit bad.
Imagine the fucking PKers would be fucking worse.
Right?
Oh my god.
Taking the helmets off.
Anyway. What do you think, Brody? Do you think this is a good idea?
I feel like yes, but no. Like, if there was more to it, yes. Like, if there was a way they could put them in this simulation, it could block, like, the whatever link to their brain that was causing whatever illness they had. If it could do that, then yes. But, like, if they're just throwing them in there just to, get rid of them kind of shit, then no. Then
Yeah.
I would 100% shut it down.
I'd go more of the neural link route, which I know we've talked about on the podcast before, but
Yeah.
just to kind of go over it. Elon Musk has a company, Neuralink. They're working on this neural lace that they imprint on your brain, pretty much. They drill a hole in your skull, and then they put this implant in, and it's basically just a lace for your brain. But it's also supposed to help with severe mental illnesses like depression and schizophrenia and psychosis, stuff like that. And it's supposed to pretty much repair the pieces of your brain that are damaged. I'd go more to that route than shove them in a fucking hard drive and throw it off the fucking Brooklyn Bridge kind of idea.
Good luck.
Bye.
Oh, your loved one? They're at the bottom of the ocean on that hard drive. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, I've met people with these kind of conditions, and that would be fucked to just say, oh, because you're interrupting our perfect society, you don't belong here, and we're gonna put you in a fucking in the cloud and not let you leave.
Yeah, it's a little bit extreme, that's for sure.
I mean, I feel like even if someone had this idea, it wouldn't pass an ethics board, and as soon as it got out in the public, there would be just fucking public outcry, and so many people would be against it that there's no way they'd be able to continue doing it.
So it's not
Yeah.
it won't be a thing.
Well, no, I
And
mean,
that's why it's hypothetical, yeah.
it's not something that'll ever happen. And then, I don't know how, family and friends could visit and not feel guilty or anything.
Okay, here's a plot twist. What if your significant other, parents, whatever it was, gave the okay to put you in there?
I'd be fucking
I don't
mad.
wanna see
Like, could you...
That would feel like such a betrayal.
Could you imagine?
Not to mention, as far as AI goes and games go or virtual worlds, there's only so much you can replicate.
Mm-hmm.
You can't replicate human emotion in a fucking virtual world. And yes, you can have friends and family visit you, but obviously you're gonna have to program other people in there, or it's not going to be realistic.
So do they know that this is a simulation? Like
the people in it don't.
Yeah, so they're put to sleep. So they're just living.
Well, yeah, the people wake up and think that they're waking up in the real world,
Yeah,
but they're
it's-
waking up
it's-
in the virtual reality.
Yeah, 'cause it's
But,
hyper realistic.
You'd have to replicate every part of their life, and how would you know how to do that? You'd have to literally replicate each individual person's memories.
Yeah.
And then, like, replicate people, replicate, like...
So there wouldn't be human touch there, right? Like, how would that...
Well, I'm sure by then they probably have that
Okay.
figured out. I mean, they're probably not far off nowadays to do that, so...
Yes.
But yeah, like, I don't see how it would even work. It would have to be very far into the future, and, like, maybe by then they'll figure it out, but, like, replicating human emotion and, like, humans to their core, like, that's a very difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
Just need a soul transponder.
Yeah. Just need to do sword art, that's it.
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would, if that was me, I'd feel very betrayed, and if I was the person that was, like, okay with it, I'd be like, I'd be so guilty, there's no way that I would just let that happen.
Yeah. Unless they willingly volunteered and were like, no, if this is gonna make it better, just put me in here.
I mean, yeah, I
Like-
feel like if they had the opportunity to
Yeah.
be asked, like, hey, this way you can't hurt anybody
See,
and you
that's
can't
the
hurt
thing you gotta
yourself.
Think about, they can't hurt themselves, but it's still not involuntarily. That's a betrayal. But if they volunteered, that actually is not a bad idea.
Yeah. There's definitely some red lines
It's
that were
a very
crossed.
big gray
Yeah.
area. Like, yeah, the more and more we talk about it, I was so against it, but now I'm thinking, like, well, if this and this and
Yeah.
this
I mean,
happened-
it does have some pros, but it definitely has
Yeah.
some cons. So,
Yeah, no, it definitely has cons, yeah. That's an interesting one.
yeah. Moving on. So I think we've got 3 more. We may not get through all 3, but we'll go to the next one here. This one was actually interesting because I've seen a Black Mirror episode that was kind of like it, so I'll go into that in a second here. Music researchers from a prestigious university develop an advanced artificially intelligent program that can define hidden commonalities within music. After running the program for a few weeks, the AI discovers unexpected results. More than half of the music in existence has distinct patterns which indicate that only one composer wrote it. However, for this to be true, the composer would have to be over 1,000 years old. This research team is disappointed by this implausible result, but after digging deeper into the findings and running a few diagnostic programs, you believe that the theory is in fact correct. Despite your colleagues' disapproval, you set off to find anyone who can shed light on this mystery, hoping that someone in the music industry can help you uncover the truth.
Wow.
So, when I said Black Mirror episode, I wasn't directly relating to this, but it's kind of similar where, like, technology gets so advanced that instead of actual performers, they just develop AI that perform music.
Oh, wow.
But for this result, that would be Brody is the composer that's
So-
1,000 years old.
Yeah. So they're saying that all music is made by one composer.
Well, half of the music
or
in
half the
existence.
music is made by one composer in the world.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, that's not. I mean, obviously, the immortality thing is like a separate part, but like
It's not
music
far
nowadays really does have a lot of commonalities. Like if you listen to like pop or you listen to country or you listen to good music, now I can roast you in real time.
I know you can.
But whatever you listen to, like obviously there's themes and patterns. Like it, I know I make fun of country a lot, but country is very notorious for it. But so is pop, so is rock, so is metal. Like
5 notes and you can have how many different known songs? Like,
yeah, and like there's so many there's so many bands and musicians now that just sample off of each
Yeah.
other. Like they just pull part of a song from somebody else and then they play around with it and make it their own. But like sampling's so popular and there's so many similarities in music that it's not hard to believe that somebody could just write a shit ton of music. I mean, obviously half of the music in existence is kind of far-fetched, obviously.
It's out there.
But it's not impossible to think.
No, especially you think about how much music's out there. and you're going on half of that. And a lot of music does sound similar, like especially in this day and age, like a lot sounds similar. So that's not really that far fetched. The immortality of like thousands of years. But you're right. It's very plausible.
What do you think, Brody?
I think the concept's actually really cool. That like you have one person that like just made music. But I feel like in the same sense it's like really far-fetched because one person would not have like the capacity to like, I mean, I'm not saying they couldn't, but like I couldn't imagine someone doing classical music like in the morning and then just like making screamo music in the afternoon and then, you know, grabbing the fucking jazz flute for the evening and composing some more music. Like,
I mean, you see musicians do it all the time. They jump genre to genre, but you're right. Like, it would be difficult to have that kind of passion and momentum to keep going forward and switching every fucking hour or every half an hour. Not to mention how much work would have to go into this. Like, half of music as we know it, like, that would be hours upon hours. You wouldn't have enough time in the day.
I like what you said about the passion, because that's another big thing with music. Like, you can tell when someone's actually passionate about their music because it reflects in it. But if you have this one guy who's just doing this, there's not going to be passion in it all the time. So I do see Brody's point there as well.
Yeah.
It's a cool thought, though.
Yeah, it'd be kind of dope if like one person made every song in existence.
Yeah.
I can't imagine the royalties that fucker must have.
Oh my god, I gotta be a fucking like trillionaire.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely an interesting concept. Black Mirror, get on an episode of that, please.
Are they still making episodes?
I haven't seen a new season come out for a while. I think they were like 2020 or 2019 to 2022 is your Black Mirror season. Enjoy.
That's fair.
Second last one here. Born blind, you trained your other senses to operate at incredible levels. Daredevil who? You don't have superhuman senses. Oh, that's sad.
Oh.
Although they are extremely developed, but you learn to use them better to notice things, to tune yourself and to interpret. This has given you an understanding of tone, thought patterns, and humanity in general that extends far beyond other people's understanding. Then, nanotechnicians figure out a way to implant high-tech super cameras into your eyes and fabricate optical nerves that they graft into your brain, along with advanced nanobots to maintain your cybernetics. Now you can see 100 times better than any human. You can zoom, you can see heat, and you can see every pore and drop of perspiration on a human face from 2 miles away.
Oh my god.
We're good.
I'm out. No, I'm
We're done. We're done here.
You're the first to agree to participate in the testing, but the government's gift comes with a great demand. You must become a soldier, a sniper, and a spy. You must use your eyesight, your stealth, and your ability to read and manipulate human emotion. You agree to the first few missions, but then begin to realize the depth of government corruption, which leaves you with a difficult choice. Would you do it?
No.
First off.
No. No.
Brody?
No?
No.
Brody, would you?
I don't know.
Answer the question!
Answer the question.
Would you?
No.
No? You wouldn't?
No.
What if you accepted, like, say you did accept, and after the few missions you realized the corruption, would you then, like, go after your creators?
But can't they just
Well, okay, so in the same fact is like I would take it, kill the only other person that can do it, you know, learn from them, kill them. And then you have all of that power to yourself.
Yeah, I mean, because if they can't recreate you, then who's gonna stop you?
Exactly. And then you can pick and choose who becomes that, you know, with all the powers. And then you can, you know, the Church of Brody gets stronger.
I'm fine just staying blind and having my heightened senses.
I'd do it. Fuck it.
You would?
I'd do it. Fuck
Okay,
it.
so what would you do after? Because it asks, are you still continuing on with the corruption, or are you going against them then? I think is what the question is after that.
Yeah, I'd probably outweigh it. I mean, every government's corrupt, and, like, if it's to serve a good purpose, like, I don't necessarily agree with everything, like, our governments do and whatever, but if it's a good enough reason, then I could probably convince myself to keep going with it. But if it was like, oh, you're gonna, use your heightened senses to bomb a school full of children. I mean, the U.S.
That's a no.
The U.S. does that anyways. But, like, but, I mean, they do. But, like, there's a time where it crosses a line, and I feel like when my morals are above the need of whatever agency I'm representing, then I'd be like, yeah, no, this is it. And, like, honestly, like Brody said, if you kill, like, the only person who knows how to do it, who's gonna fucking stop you?
No one. You're literally the most powerful
Like,
person
you
in there.
could literally just settle down and have a life somewhere where nobody knows where you are. Like, who the fuck gives you shit? You don't have to keep using your powers to kill people.
Exactly.
That's fair. I'm fine being blind.
I mean, I feel like, again, this is not too far away from becoming a real thing as well.
Yeah, which is kind of terrifying.
Because, again, it goes with neural lace. Like, neural lace helps people who can't walk again, stuff like that. Like,
you really like this Neurolace.
oh, I'm gonna be a guinea pig. As soon as it comes to human trials, I'm gonna be like, Elon Daddy, drill into my head. Do it.
Elon Daddy.
Science Daddy, do it.
So can he prevent, like, mental health stuff?
Oh, yeah,
going on in the
it's
brain?
literally, because what mental illness does to the brain is it literally physically deforms it and changes it, and neural lace actually works in repairing the damaged cells. Like, if you look at a side-by-side MRI of a normal human functioning brain without, like, depression, and one with, like, a depression disorder, they're completely different. Because depression literally changes the physical properties of your brain.
That could change the whole mental health, like, community. Like,
Yeah.
Just, wow.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. It's very, very cool what they're doing. I'm not
amount
going to
of
say what he's doing, because I always say Elon Musk, whatever, but the team that he's got working for him.
The amount of lives that could save is
Oh, yeah. Like,
crazy.
I'm hoping it all goes well with that company, whatever. But yeah, when human trials happen, Musk, hit me up, okay? I'm Canadian Walker on Discord. You drop into my stream, drop some of that Tesla
Elon
money,
just pops up right now.
and just drop that Tesla
Donates you a fucking $1 million. Here, can be a lab rat.
Yeah, I'd do it. Fuck it.
I'd do that.
Yeah, fuck, let's go.
Let me vlog it, put it on YouTube, and we'll just go.
What's the worst that happens? You die? Oh, well.
Exactly.
Yeah, well. Okay, that's okay.
But yeah, that's like not too far from something that's probably gonna happen. And who knows? It probably is happening, and we just don't know it yet.
Don't even know.
Like, government experiments are very hush-hush, so it wouldn't surprise me if something like that happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, well, we can move on to the last one and kind of wrap her up here. It's been about half an hour.
Yeah.
Just a little note here for all y'all listening at home and or watching. If there are breaks and cuts, there were some technical difficulties. Hopefully I figure that out in post. But yeah, just to let you guys know. So the last one here. On a distant planetary colony, citizens are violently protesting newly established laws that were created to secure order. The leaders of the colony are turning to tyrannical means in order to keep colonists subjugated. As leader of the rebel cell, why are we always rebels, man?
Why are we rebels?
You and your team have had limited success disrupting the government's burgeoning police status. When nearby hostile aliens contact you and offer advanced weaponry to defeat your oppressors, you are somewhat hesitant. Will you work with these aliens to overthrow your government, even though it would result in diminishing your planetary defenses and risking a possible invasion by your newfound allies?
Okay, so I got a couple things I gotta say first. So they made rules, and the people don't agree, so now they're being violent to protest it, so then the government had to be tyrannical, is what you said?
Well, I mean, it sounds like the leaders were already becoming
They
tyrannical,
were, okay,
and then the rebels kind of just rose up
Did it
because of
violently.
it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So are we taking advanced weaponry?
Would we rather risk the possibility of basically being killed by our government for rebelling, or would we risk the chance that aliens could just take over after we're done our civil war, basically?
Didn't they say that aliens are violent too?
No, just
No.
says they have advanced technology.
Oh, they could be good. So if they take over, it might be good for us.
Go to war. Do it.
Yeah, we'll go to war. We're violent here.
Rivers of blood, as we said with the episode
Yes.
of Heaven.
Yeah, we said that. Yep.
Rivers of blood.
Yeah, because one of the examples in the previous episode, if you guys haven't went and watched, was if we had superpowers and basically we worked for a superpowered leader, if we would continue to be a military general or something and continue to kill people in rivers of blood. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, what are your choices, really? I mean,
Death or...
either way, shit.
Yeah,
Either
but-
you don't accept the weaponry and your
Yeah.
leaders kill you, or you do accept the weaponry and you have the off chance of living, but you could also die.
So we got a 50-50 chance of dying here is what I think we're getting at.
I wouldn't say 50-50. It all depends on the aliens.
Can we say they're good in this situation for once?
I mean, they're offering advanced weaponry. I don't know what kind of good aliens have advanced weaponry, but,
Yeah, that's kind of the sketchy
Yeah.
thing.
I mean, I wouldn't trust them, but,
no.
I mean, I'd form an alliance just for the sake of
Getting the
living.
weaponry. But so
Yeah.
we could get the weaponry and then just use it on them if they
I'm
decide
sure they're not going to
invade,
give us
right?
their most powerful weapons, though.
Yeah.
But they'd be dumb to do that.
Exactly.
But at least we'd have a higher defense against them versus our weapons.
Yeah, but I guess it does say that the aliens have contacted you, and so you'd have to lower your defenses. What's stopping them from just going, blam, you're dead?
That's true. Alright, we're going to war. We're going to war and we're dying either way is what I'm going off of.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'd probably let them in. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Do
Oh,
it.
well.
Yeah.
Send it.
Go to
What's
war.
the worst that could happen? We die? Oh, well.
Oh no, not
That's
death.
the worst. I think torture's
Yeah.
a little worse.
I mean, you probably get tortured by your own leaders, I would assume.
Okay, so we're going to war, so I get a quick death.
Alright. Everyone, saddle up for the
We're
war.
going to war, boys.
The last war. The final war. of existence. Alright. Well, that's 40 minutes come and gone.
Wow.
Yeah, these episodes go by pretty quick.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed. As I've been saying for the last 2 years, hopefully we get some, new content that we can film and kind of tell you guys about. We are actually, hopefully, planning on going to an escape room here soon when things open up again. It looks like Canada's just gonna say fuck it to COVID and open
That's
everything up.
what
Why
I'm
not?
Understanding.
Let's go. Start licking those doorknobs and
What?
and
No,
shit.
no, don't lick doorknobs.
Well, no, now
Hey,
that
wick windows instead.
yes.
Oh god, we're gonna.
Listen, the vaccinated population need to get COVID because then they get super immunity. So
Yes.
it's fine. There's actually some science behind that. I wasn't completely
Oh,
bullshitting.
okay, I thought you were bullshitting. I was like,
No. But yeah, so hopefully what that means, things and stuff that we get to do. We're going to a concert in
Yeah, we're going to how many
March?
days?
42.
42 Trinity of Terror.
42 Trinities of Terrors.
Yeah.
Lord.
One's good enough.
But yeah, so we got that
Escape
trip
room.
planning, and
Camping trips, we got a
then
couple
we've got
planned.
like a bunch of stuff that
Yeah.
we're hoping to do this year, next year, the next few years.
Make lots of memories, get a lot of stories for the podcast. I think
Exactly.
that's what
I
it is.
need the content. COVID, fuck off, so I can get content.
You're
Okay.
gonna have some good content. with the
If you are a viewer of the podcast, which I know if you come back week after week, thank you very much.
Thank you.
If you do want to be on the podcast, hit me up in the DMs.
Slide right in.
Slide in my DMs. Give me your best pickup
I
line.
was about to ask pickup line.
And then let me know if you want to come on the podcast. We will be having some of the recurring guests and maybe some new guests as well. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode and the last few. And hopefully I won't take a week and a half to upload like I did with the one a couple weeks ago. Oops. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed. And Brody, you tell them where to find us on social media. and things and stuff.
Yeah, Colton good this time.
Okay. Instagram,
See if he knows.
Facebook, Twitter,
Uh-huh.
and you can listen to us on Apple Music,
Okay.
Spotify,
Okay.
Amazon.
Amazon, no.
No, sorry, we can't afford Amazon yet.
Can afford.
Yes, we're gonna buy out Amazon, thanks.
Twitter, Instagram. I think that's.
You got the social medias.
Okay.
You can listen to us
Oh,
on
and YouTube. YouTube is where you can also listen and watch us.
Google Podcasts, just for all of you out there, just so you know.
This is a test, and he's doing kind of good.
Oh, okay. Well,
You can also listen to us on Anchor and their listening platforms.
Okay,
And
no, either.
hey, Brody, where can they support us?
Well, if you're looking for ways to buy some sick clothing that me and Brandon definitely hand make, hand wash, and we'll spit on everyone for you.
Disclaimer: this doesn't happen.
You can go to Redbubble. We got different merch there. You can look at. We have a Patreon if you want to donate to us. We have me and Brandon both stream on Twitch. If you want to come support us there, Brandon's is Canadian Walker 13. Mine's Brody TY.
This fucker doesn't do anything.
Yeah, Colton doesn't do anything, so.
To come in the future.
Coming in the future.
To come in the future. I guess.
Really?
Same.
You're coming in the future?
I guess I'm
All right.
coming in the future.
Yikes.
Yeah, anyways, we're gonna end this before
Yeah,
it gets
we
even
really
more
should.
fucking weird.
Yep.
So, thank you, Colton, for joining us. Maybe next time we'll find a less scuffed way to record this, because this is
We're on
fucking pissing me off.
Earbuds.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.